Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, M.D., Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, M.D.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. Of course, AM Impact is heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course, where we encourage you to call in to join in. Well, little hiccup on Friday. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I had to play a repeat show for you, but I'm back here live and in the flesh today. And going to call up a friend of ours today. Well, I think you'll get the impression it's about time for him. You'll see what I mean. You know, we have a very famous favorite son of Pittsburgh, left us, went out to Phoenix, Arizona. He's an ophthalmologist, extraordinaire, very different kind of ophthalmologist. And you've come to expect that each and every time when he comes to Pittsburgh, well, we like to spend some time with him on the air here with us. And we're going to do that today. That's Dr. Edward Kondrot is going to be our special guest today because, well, he's coming again. It's coming in the month of June. In about a week, we'll be giving you all that information for those of you who have eye disorders. Try to give you an idea of which ones of those would probably be best to be evaluated by Dr. Kondrot. But he's coming here to do another eye seminar in Pittsburgh. This, I believe, is the fourth one in 12 calendar months, which is a pretty quick pace for Ed and his staff. But he'll be coming into town. I think he'll be back out at the Marriott, out at the airport. We'll get that straight. That's better. Just keep quiet for a moment. I'm not real sure about the venues. But spending time with an old friend today, trying to help those who may have some eye issues that just are not happy with how those eye issues are responding in a conventional treatment environment, even with some of the best ophthalmological help that you can obtain. An alternative approach may be exactly what you need. You'll be hearing about that alternative approach today with Dr. Edward Kondrot, our guest. Now look, Ed really does enjoy, and I do enjoy allowing the opportunity for those of you who may have a question or a comment to give us a call today in the context of our discussion. So I'll be listening for a knock on the door, and when I hear one, and I'll try to let you in as soon as possible to get that question up and on the table. If it interests you, it interests so many others, and we'd be glad to let Dr. Kondrot field that question for you. The number, of course, to do that isn't changed. It's the same. It's 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Dr. Edward Kondrot today, our featured guest. Let's see. Looking at the calendar. Well, the date is quickly approaching now with the, I'm so fascinated with this fellow, Dr. Bernardo Lapayo coming to town, going to be the Freedom of Choice in Cancer Therapy guest speaker coming up on the June 17th meeting. There it is. It's the third Thursday. It lines up. The stars are aligning. It's at 7 p.m. and it is a Days in Butler. All three stars are aligned. Therefore, we do have a sighting. He will be here. He is 108 years old, going to be 109 about a month later on August, 2 months later, on August 17th. Anyway, fascinating gentleman. Still trying to arrange some way to get him here on the show before he actually meets you up there in Butler. Through the Spirit, folks, don't forget to come on in here. We got a lot of books that Deborah sent off to us. She's had it now a few weeks. The book she has written, she has penned, is called Harmony. It's written in conjunction with Drs. John Young and Dr. Aida Reyes. They're both medical doctors. Deborah Ray brought her expertise to the table, and these medical doctors have responded and have worked in harmony down there in the Florida area. And with this book now, move across the country to spread that message. The message really that comes as the initiator, as a product. And that product is something that we launched here with you in Pittsburgh, literally launched it when the rest of the country didn't even have a sighting. And that's Fruit of the Spirit, these 14 biblical fruit purees. Also teamed up with alkalinized minerals from the Dead Sea. Herbs like frankincense and myrrh, how exotic, huh? Biblical too, as well as resveratrol, a little bit out of kilter with the biblical component, but nonetheless, so some science thrown in there. Anyway, great tasting. If you come out to see us out here at our office at 3075 Washington Road here in McMurray, we'd be happy to give you a free taste of Fruit of the Spirit. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll get you a free book of harmony written by Deborah as well as the other two doctors. If you have some geographic issues, and we're not just that local to you, you can also pick up Fruit of the Spirit a couple other ways. You can dial in the 800 number, 1-800-442-3793. That's 800-442-3793, and that'll get it done. Or you could just go right to the internet. It's not Fruit of the Spirit, it's fruitspirit.net. Fruitspirit.net. And once you get to that screen, you'll see a number of doctors in the country who are participating. You have to scroll down to find my name, and when you do and click on it, it'll open up the keypad to let you perform the rest of the functions to get the product. Still, I believe the discounted price, I think it's $29 for a full month supply. They say that 1 ounce is equivalent to 5 servings of fruit and vegetables, and it tastes good. So whether it's for you or the grandkids, pick some up. What else? What else? Let's see here. Why don't we do this? Rather than dilly-dallying around, I talked to Dr. Kondrot already. It's 5:10 out there in Arizona. But let's bring him aboard, take a quick break, and in the interim, bring Ed Kondrot to you. Hey, if you got eye issues, or if you know somebody who has them, you may want to give them a quick call and tell them to dial up and listen to us as we speak about, he's coming to town again, full seminar, treatment seminar. He'll tell you where, when, how, what times. We got a quick knock. Come on in the store real quick before we take that break. Go ahead.
Hey, Dr. Courtney, you look great, man.
Oh, you're now getting me in 3D, huh?
Yeah, and I got my hardline phone back, so it sounds a lot better, I guess.
Wonderful. Hey, what's on your mind? Real quick. Go ahead.
I talked to this, there was a radio program on Friday here locally, and I was talking to a big interventional, what is it, interventional, is that the right word?
You mean an intensivist?
No, what is it, interventionist cardiologist.
Oh, okay. Those are the aggressive ones. Those are the ones that do the catheterizations and things like that. Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, have you ever heard of Dr. James Roberts, the renegade in Toledo?
Had he?
He said, yes, I have.
Oh, does he consider him a renegade?
Well, I said, well, Dr. Roberts suggests some non-kinase and some very good unique E and some other things to help his patients. He says, and this guy, he went on a tangent. He said, listen, if you tried all this stuff, he said, you'd lose your mind. I said, well, I'm just saying what he said. And his patients supposedly get better. What's the deal with that?
Oh, you raised some eyebrows down there. Was it a local doc, one of your local docs in the area that...
No, it was a Alan Handelman show. He's a big down here in the Raleigh, Greensboro, and where I live in this area.
All right. Well, you just, what the problem is, you're just you're too far educated. You really are throwing curveballs to the conventional doctors when they come on the air. It's not fair what you're doing, but I always like whenever, with some training that you received here, can go up against the best in terms of science meeting science. And I'll tell you, Dr. Jimmy Roberts doesn't hold a candle to anybody in terms of being able to match science with science. So you always be okay with Dr. Roberts behind you. And I'm happy to hear that the other doctor considers him the renegade, because boy, we need some more renegades in the cardiology world.
Well, he didn't want to hear it, and I was like, well, you know, some of this stuff has got to work. I mean, supposedly you've got patients, not you, I mean, you know, there's patients that have done so well with the vitamin. He said, and then they started going off on me about, well, they've done a study and that the people die more with vitamin E. I said, yeah, but I also read that study was only with cardiac patients, which means they died faster anyway.
Oh, you are too quick for them, Danville. It's so nice to have you, the educated one, come to bring us these messages this morning. Look, you keep on listening to all the other talk shows down in your area. Make them miserable down there. Come on, I know you know how to do it. Keep calling us up and informing us, and I'm looking at you right now. I'm winking at you.
Great. You look great.
Hey,
Have
a good day. Have a good day. Yeah, folks, Danville. That's a little words of encouragement. By the way, I should mention that with us winking and looking, we do stream this show up live. So Danville, you know, a little out of the listening area, stays in and tunes to us. He goes to the internet. Just go to djcmd.com, djcmd.com, and opening page, you'll see an icon marked AM Impact Live. Click on that icon, because when we're live, you'll be live right along with us, and you'll be able to not just listen, you'll be able to watch no matter where you are. Don't forget, too, we archive all the shows on the archive component. All right, we're going to take that short break. In the interim, we're going to dial up a good friend of ours, one that we always like bringing to you. He's coming to town again, folks, for eye treatment seminars. His name is Dr. Edward Kondrot, the most unique and different ophthalmologist on the planet. He'll be with us in just a moment.
You become confused about how best to manage your health. It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, M.D. is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Have you been to the doctor lately? Was fatigue top of your complaint list? Even if your doctor asks you what you eat, the recommended 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is a dream in your busy schedule. What if you learned of a product 5 years in the formulation that delivers 5 servings of fruits and minerals in just 1 ounce? That's right, it's Fruit of the Spirit. The blessings of Fruit of the Spirit are now formulated into a delicious whole fruit puree product rich in antioxidants and minerals. Your health is more than just a test result. It's a balance of physical, spiritual, and emotional factors. You work regularly to strengthen your faith? Let Fruit of the Spirit help cover your nutritional needs in a convenient and cost-effective ounce a day. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, 5 servings of fruits and minerals with no added sugars. That's 1-800-442-3793 for your good health. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Heard here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you on this Monday version of the show. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. It's bright outside. It's bright in here, and even brighter made by a close friend of ours who, well, she's coming back to Pittsburgh, folks, and we lost him. Not really lost him, because he keeps coming back. He's an extraordinary ophthalmologist who practices at the art of ophthalmology in a way, well, it's just not done any other place. He shares this with a lot of folks throughout the country. He moves about and brings seminars and these different treatment regimes to folks that are far removed from Phoenix, but he keeps on having that favorite little spot in his heart for the Pittsburgh area. I'm talking about Dr. Edward Kondrot, who's with us today, and by the way, He is coming back. That's why he's on the show. We're going to talk about, well, get that right out of the way, and we'll find out when and where and how in just a moment. But let's say hello and good morning, and I mean a good morning to Dr. Edward Kondrot. Hello, Ed.
Good morning, Dr. Courtney, and it is a very good morning, and it's an early morning. It's 5:15 here in Arizona, and I'm still trying to pry open my eyelids.
Well, you're always bright-eyed and bushy-tailed when you're talking to me, Ed, and all of Pittsburgh wants to know, of course, we'll get into the guts of maybe those who never heard of the Ed Kondrot seminars, but multiple times now throughout this morning, we want to announce when you're coming to town for these seminars. And I think you have a basic one and a general seminar, and then going to be a treatment seminar. Let's get some dates and some places and some times out of the way right up front, okay?
Well, the date is Sunday, June the 13th, and it's going to be held at Pittsburgh Airport Marriott.
Okay, it will be at the Marriott, huh?
6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Ah, that's the change. You going to the evening session, huh?
We're going to, before we would have it late in the afternoon, and it gets interfered with church activities and other things going on Sunday. So we're going to try the evening, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
All right.
And it's always a real pleasure for me to give seminars. First of all, they're free, and it's an opportunity to meet some of my old friends, old patients, and also share with people the things I've learned over the last 20 years, incorporating alternative therapy into my ophthalmology practice. And it seems like every time I give a seminar, I'm just busting its seams in terms of new things I want to share with people. And the big thing that I learned, I was actually an international homeopathic doctor from all over the world presenting material, and I was particularly intrigued by a German medical doctor who presented a series of data on his experience treating Alzheimer's, Parkinson's patients using homeopathy. Now, the reason why I'm tying this to GI, so many of patients that I'm now seeing that have macular degeneration, glaucoma, and cataract seem to also have some sort of mental disorder. They're losing their memory. They have early Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease. And as a homeopathic, I'm always trying to tie in, what treatments are not only going to help eyes, but help them, help their mental faculty. And of course, in your practice too, looking at things like heavy metal pollution, chemical pesticides, things that are preventing function in their optimum capacity.
Yeah, I guess it should be mentioned that it's no mystery that the disorders, and I think you just rattled through what you've taught us to be the big three: macular degeneration, cataract, and glaucoma. Now, these are not disorders of the young. I mean, I'm sure that they isolatedly do occur in the young, but these are disorders of the aged. As aging advances, and with memory loss, with aging comes this dreaded condition of memory loss, and the mechanisms of both of these dysfunctions are pretty similar, aren't they, Ed?
Yeah, well, I just don't entirely agree that, of course they are related to aging, but I think the human body is designed to age gracefully and age with the ability to function. And it's really disturbing to me to see patients who are in their 50s or 60s that have this type of deterioration, not only in their eyes, but in their general health and their well-being. And the beautiful thing is, so many of these alternative therapies can tremendously improve their well-being and their vision.
Well, now, when you come to town, what we've all learned to be the format here is on the first, now we're at an evening, it's going to be on Sunday evening, you give a general seminar for just anybody that wants to come. It's absolutely free, in which you're going to spend, tell us about the time frames involved with that, and which you plan to cover in this free seminar. And then, if past history has taught us anything, there are a group of people that some of which already have signed up to do this, and others that just peel themselves out and show themselves for wanting to be involved in an actual treatment seminar by Dr. Edward Kondrot while you're going to remain here for at least, what, up to Wednesday?
So we stay for an additional 4 days. So after the seminar, for those folks that are interested, I'll have the opportunity to evaluate them and to develop a treatment program for them. And the way we do this is we just don't haphazardly begin some therapy. What we do is we evaluate the response, their response to treatment, whether we're doing homeopathy, light therapy, microcurrent stimulation, or some IV therapy. We'll see what therapy can stimulate their vision and improve their mental senses, thinking, and functioning. Then, at the end of it, we'll try to develop a particular program for them to continue over the course of the year, in the hope that the treatments will help them continue to get an improvement of their vision. And of course, that's where you come in, because a lot of times we recommend detox programs, stimulation, IV nutritional therapy. So the folks in Pittsburgh should be fortunate to have a doc like yourself to supply these things. Because we go to many cities in the country where they just don't have those alternative doctors. I know one location where a guy's driving over 100 miles.
Yeah, and I feel very strongly about chelation. Of course, we're of the same mix when it comes to utilizing these alternative therapies. You've done chelation when you were here in Pittsburgh. You do it now as you're in Arizona, and the treatment, of course, of these eye disorders that we hope the listening public will take us up on. Will require some follow-up and some continued therapy after you're gone. It's actually good if you're out there listening to hear that there'll be some continuity with respect to the treatment. It's just not going to be abandoned. You're going to be observed closely both while you're here and while you're not.
Yeah, part of our program is I'll do a telephone follow-up 1 month and 3 months just to monitor progress of therapy. And then at the 6-month period, that's when I like to see the patient in person. And typically, I return to the Pittsburgh area every 3 to 4 months. I think we're planning to come back in December, although I'm not too happy to the expert of the president.
Yeah. Well, you had a little bit of...
Laughing about snow, Flagstaff, Arizona, had more snow than any other city in the United States this year, including any city in Alaska.
Well, you just had a snowstorm out there recently.
Yeah, and I did some hiking in the Grand Canyon. I left North Rim May 24th, and believe it or not, I was driving through snowdrift, and the one road blocked with a fallen tree. That's how bad weather was that. May 24th.
And that's Flagstaff. And that's how far away from Phoenix?
It's about an hour and a half north.
It's like us in our Seven Springs area, about an hour and a half. And but to do that in May, that was very unusual to the circumstances.
100-degree weather in Phoenix, an hour and a half north. We got a snowstorm.
Only out there in the west. Only out there in the west. So, for those who are listening to us, and you mentioned those big three. I got to tell you, the way I view this, because I have so many patients that I've met over the years who have surfaced with macular degeneration, cataracts, and glaucoma, and they have been placed on the standard regimes that ophthalmology has to offer. Some, I think when I get the responses that are positive are that they remain static. Okay. That they don't advance, that is a sign of a good treatment, when in fact you don't look at a sign of a good treatment as remaining static at all. You look for improvements. And I'll tell you, I got a little more involved with you the last time you were in town with your group that you had in the treatment seminar. And when you talk about responses, there were people who improved a line or two on the vision chart in a day. Now, that was never brought up before. I'm reporting it now because, well, my son Joey helps you, and he was amazed, as I was, to hear that that kind of progress is something you're not unused to seeing.
Yeah, that's what makes it very exciting. Because people will have an improvement of their vision. And you hit the nail on the head. You know, typically, you go to the doctor with high blood pressure or elevated eye pressure. The doctor gives you medication to maintain. You know, lower the pressure, not cure it. The things that we're doing, we're trying to actually cure the or reverse it. And that's kind of a homeopathic philosophy. That there's imbalance in the body, and we want to correct that imbalance to cure or treat the disease. The other thing kind of upsetting is that traditional medicine now is getting into the business of prevention. You know, so if the cholesterol is elevated, take the statins to prevent heart attack. If your eye pressure is elevated, take these eye drops to prevent glaucoma. When in fact, do not even have heart attack, you may not even have glaucoma. And the problem that, of course, you see in your practice is toxic side effects. Pharmaceuticals.
These drugs, absolutely.
You know, burning, irritation, and I think drops can lead to other eye diseases. So many people that I see that are on glaucoma, get them off their medication by doing things to improve the general health of the body. And that's what I hope to teach people during my 2-hour seminar on Sunday evening, 6 to 8. The seminar is entitled 10 Essentials to Improve Your Vision and Your Health. You'll be learning 10 things that you can begin to incorporate in your lifestyle immediately to change your health and to change your vision.
So that's on Sunday night, the 10 Essentials and how to change your health and your vision problems.
Right.
Okay. 6 to 8 o'clock, that's on Sunday. Now, do you already have some enrollees in your treatment seminar? And if you do have still some spaces open for maybe someone who may be listening to us today?
I think we have a total of 6 signed up for the treatment program.
Well, that's still enough because you don't go much beyond 6, do you?
We try to check because it takes a lot of work and energy, as you know, to be busy with doing these treatments. And we want to make sure that people get good quality care. We usually keep it around 10 o'clock. And it's not only treatment, but a thorough eye evaluation where I dilate the eyes and decide, because as a homeopathic doctor, I'm looking at, the characteristics of the preparation to determine which remedies for homeopathic treatment can be beneficial. And the other thing that I like about homeopathy is the person. So maybe 100 people with macular degeneration, each one gets a different homeopathic remedy. So they have a blinded treatment. Always you have macular degeneration, you get taking this homeopathic remedy.
Okay.
So we kind of tailor it to the patient's eye condition, other physical problems, or mental, emotional state. And in my experience, that's the way to really get some great successful treatment.
Well, you have really, as I mentioned, to see that people are having a line or two on the eye chart improvement within a day or so. We had never really discussed that before, and this sort of just peeled itself away from being around and asking some questions. This is something you've come to expect. This is what you really, I would be shouting this from, I'd be shouting this from the treetops, okay? So let me shout it on your behalf. There are results here, folks, and especially in these 3 difficult disorders where I've seen too many patients over too long a period of time. I've had family members, friends that don't get the improvements. They just remain static and are happy to remain static. You say, we can get these people seeing much better and be much healthier. And that's why offering the hope that there is improvement, if you just search for a different way of handling it, is what I just love about what you do, Ed. And bringing this all over the country, especially back to Pittsburgh, is always created a fond spot in my heart for both you and all of what you do.
Yeah, well, thanks so much, Dennis. What we do, first aid, measure not only the visual acuity or their ability to read letters on the eye chart, we also measure contrast sensitivity. That's the ability to see different shades, light and dark. I'm sure there's been many times where you get your credit card in a restaurant, look at it, it's a blank piece of paper. The prints are like. That's contrast. In many cases, it's the improvement of contrast, and that can be one of the first changes to occur after surgical treatment. And the third area we look at is peripheral vision. The longer I do alternative treatments, the more I'm beginning to appreciate the importance of the autonomic nervous system. And when you're diagnosed with a serious eye disorder and you're in a state of stress, that causes a constriction or a narrowing of peripheral vision. And of course, if you have macular degeneration and you're already losing your central vision, and now your peripheral vision, you're losing that. It's not a good combination.
Yeah, double whammy.
If you balance the autonomic nervous system, it will immediate improvement of the peripheral vision and then an improvement of overall ability to function and do activities more comfortably. So that's the way.
Well, there you have it, folks. Look, why don't we do this, Ed? Take a short break. Maybe trying to open this up for some questions from our listeners. They're out there. They're the ones battling with these problems and maybe not too happy with their current management. They may want to just talk to you on our show today. The number to do that is 412-825-6262. You're with Dr. Ed Kondrot today, who's coming to town again with his eye treatment seminars. The 13th is when he arrives, or at least the opening seminar, general seminar, and a couple more slots available for those who may be listening in today. We'll get on to more of a discussion when we return. Okay with you, Ed?
Great. Thanks.
Okay. We're going to take a short break, folks. Dial us up in the interim, 412-825-6262.
Want to help your family eat healthier? Instead of learning to disguise tofu in wondrous ways, how about some real nutritional power? If your family has the typical American palate for fries, pizza, and burgers, giving your family the blessing of good nutrition is a struggle. Fruit of the Spirit is the answer for your family's nutritional needs. Fruit of the Spirit is an all-natural, whole fruit puree made from fresh fruits native to the Holy Land with alkalizing minerals. Fruit of the Spirit was 5 years in the formulation, the work of a team of top nutritional experts with independent science to confirm its antioxidant power. 1 ounce a day provides the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and minerals. Fruit of the Spirit is convenient, affordable, and delicious. Even your picky family will sing the praises of Fruit of the Spirit. Give your loved ones the blessing of good nutrition. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. You become confused about how best to manage your health. It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Good morning. Welcome back to AM Impact on Your Health here on this Monday morning version of the show. As I said, right outside and bright in here, and even brighter, a beacon from the west comes at us today. Favorite son of Pittsburgh, ophthalmologist extraordinaire. He practices in a way that is just not found usually anywhere on the planet. This fella has got different ways of treating eye disorders that lead to results that allow for patients to improve, not to remain static. His name is Dr. Edward Kondrot. He keeps coming back to Pittsburgh. This is his fourth time in the last 12 calendar months, and he won't forget you. He'll be back again. Ed, you still with us there, my friend?
I'm still here.
Okay, folks, we're opening up to you today if you want to give us a call and have some specific questions in mind with your vision or maybe someone that you know. The number is 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. We'll be listening for a little knock on the door. Ed, when it comes to these big three, anything, I'm guessing that if someone has had a diagnosis of any of these three, then they're well tuned to say, oh, okay, I have had that diagnosis. Maybe I should go to the seminar. But you could just be sitting back and not really have a diagnosis. You may be even fearful to go see an ophthalmologist for fear that you may have such a terrible diagnosis as one of these could be, potentially. What's some symptoms that people listening to us today could gravitate to and look toward to know that they could benefit from at least to come to the general seminar and maybe be evaluated by you while you're in town?
Well, the one I'm seeing more and more of, and I really haven't had a handle why there's glaucoma. I think it is related to maybe toxins in the environment and our poor diet. I'm seeing more and more cases of glaucoma, and unfortunately, glaucoma usually does not have symptoms. It's painless loss of vision, and it's often called the thief in the night. But lose vision very, very slowly, and they're not aware of it. And that's one of the prime reasons why, once you're over the age of 35, even if you're not having these symptoms, you should probably have an eye exam at least every 2 years.
And get that pressure checked, huh?
It's kind of like hypertension.
Sure. Yeah, insidious onset with no real sign until whammo, we're well beyond the line. Look,
it's tied into toxins in the environment, dietary problems, and things like that. And many times by developing an exercise program, a detox program, and changing your diet, you can see a dramatic decrease.
Oh, man. Back to the basics. We do have a knock on the door. If you don't mind taking a question, do you, Ed?
Not at all.
Come on the store. You're with Dr. Ed Kondrot. Go right ahead.
Good morning. Could you tell me if there's anything that could be done for corneal dystrophy?
Corneal dystrophy. It's the first one I've heard.
Well, there's many different types of corneal dystrophy.
Epithelial basement membrane.
That's pretty specific.
Symptoms are primarily pain, recurrent erosion, or...
Yes, I'm having pain. Was that what you asked?
Yep. Because that's due to an irregularity of the pattern of the cornea. And typically, folks that have this condition can have severe, very, very severe eye pain, sudden onset, typically when they wake up in the morning. There are many traditional treatments. In fact, the most common treatment is to use sodium chloride or salt to help swelling the cornea. Many times that will take care of it. Simple table salt solution.
Is that something that you buy over the counter, or can you?
Yeah, that's something you buy at a drugstore over the counter. But the important thing is to make sure you have a proper diagnosis. Sometimes a more serious and masqueraded, such as a herpes infection of the eye or keratoconus, or, another serious eye problem.
Oh,
From my
really?
perspective, I'm looking at alternative therapies. And I think Dr. Courtney, we've talked about this, ozone eye drops.
Oh, okay.
Very effective ozone is a highly reactive form of oxygen that helps stimulate the eye to heal. And we're using ozone eye drops to stimulate the eye to heal to reduce the inflammation and pain.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that.
The other thing to look at is the homeopathic treatment. We believe that the reason why you have this basement membrane dystrophy is due to some imbalance in the body. Taking certain specific homeopathic remedies with the eye to heal, become stronger, so you don't have this.
Would that be something you would put into the eye, or would that be a supplement?
That would be a type of supplement. Okay. So we would have two approaches. One would try to fix your body with supplements, with homeopathy, and then we would have a local approach to the eye.
If you use the ozone eye drops, would you also use the sodium chloride drops?
I would probably want to start with the sodium chloride drops.
Oh, okay. So use those alone. Is there any brand or...
Much simpler approach. I tend to like the simple approaches. The ozone eye drops have a generator. You have to buy one yourself, which is expensive, or you have to have access to a doctor who's able to make the ozone eye drops.
Oh, so they are a little harder to obtain than the ozone eye drops?
It would be harder to obtain. But the first thing I would suggest is to make sure that you have a good eye care of an eye doctor. Make sure that some of these more serious conditions. I'm not saying that the basement dystrophy is not a serious condition. There can be some conditions that can be sight-threatening. So that's why you need to see an eye doctor, have an evaluation and diagnosis. Now, there is another treatment, which is the last resort, and this is a surgical treatment using a laser.
Uh-huh.
The laser then smooths the surface of the cornea. And in fact, years ago, when I was practicing in Pittsburgh, I treated a number of people using the excimer laser, the same laser that they're using for LASIK surgery, for refractive surgery. So it's done in a different manner to treat the surface of the cornea to keep the eye to heal.
Oh, okay. Present time I'm using simulation eye drops. Would they be okay to use?
Simulation eye drops are not specific for corneal dystrophy.
Right.
They're more for dry eye.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm listening to this conversation. I would sure like to meet you, and I think you should be meeting Dr. Ed. Come on out to at least that general seminar on Sunday on the 13th. Can you do that, ma'am?
Yes, I'll do that.
I would love to meet you personally. It seems like your problem, you're well aware of what it is. You've already studied it. You're being given some great information now, and maybe even becoming a part of that treatment seminar for a problem that appears like it has a solution if you just change the regimes a bit. So I want to thank you for your call today. I think to end the one-on-one consult format for just a moment, I hope you understand.
Right.
But please, no, I'm so happy you called. I'm happy that we'll be able to hook the two of you up. Come on out to see us at the seminar on the 13th, 6 o'clock, okay?
Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
One thing is, many ophthalmologists to treat that condition with steroid eye drops. And, steroid eye drops may reduce the inflammation and make the eye feel better, but they're very successful. And in homeopathy, any type of steroid treatment is a no-no.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. That is just the standard way to treat any inflammation is to put out the fire with the steroid, but the consequences to that can be devastating, right, Ed?
Including the development of cataract, glaucoma, and, of course, metabolic and systemic problems, such as diabetes, thinning of the bones, on and on and on. So, generally, as an alternative doctor, I do not like steroids. Try to avoid steroids at all costs, although in some cases they have marked inflammation and they're not getting the response that the alternative treatments then you know, you may have to use some
Short term.
very, very judiciously and try to stop it quickly. But sometimes I'll see patients that are using steroid eye drops for years and years. And now they have glaucoma, cataract, really serious problems directly linked to the steroids.
I got a question for you, and maybe personal bent to it, but we are well within the realm and the epic of the contact lens revolution. It happened in these last couple generations. Of course, we now have another thing with LASIK. I don't know how you feel about that. Could you comment on what you've seen? Because you've been here through this entire transition. You've been in practice. You've seen, what have you seen from the use of contact lenses? Anything detrimental? I know that there can be great restoration of visual acuity, but hey, what diseases that you may see that have meteorically risen in the advent of these contact lenses? And as well, what about the use of LASIK surgery and other corneal reshaping surgeries that have been used? Any problems that you've seen outcrop from all this?
Well, I have mixed emotions about LASIK surgery, and you know, at one time I performed quite a bit of LASIK surgery, and the majority of the people do extremely well. There's a small percentage, for some reason, are scratching their heads. We don't know why. They develop symptoms of dry eyes, corneal irregularity, and their visual acuity isn't as sharp. So, you know, generally speaking, I would say, you know, try alternative therapies. I would have never even talked about this 10 or 20 years ago. I do believe that alternative treatments, eye exercise, things like that can improve your vision and your acuity and your ability to reduce the strength of your glasses. I think as the body becomes healthier, the need and the dependency on glasses can be less and less. You know, for example, I'm 60 years old, and I very rarely wear my glasses. I read without my glasses. I drive, function. It's only when my eyes are really tired or when I'm stressed, then I need to wear my glasses.
We have another knock on the door. Why don't you come on in? You're in the store with Dr. Edward Kondrot. Go right ahead.
I'm Mary Jane, and back in 1982, I had both of my eyes operated on with the laser iridotomy for narrow angle bilateral glaucoma. And my eye doctor at the time, she's now retired, put me on a course of vitamins, which I've stayed on all these years. Now, my question is about developing monovision at age 60. And can Dr. Ed address this?
Dr. Ed, can you address this?
I'm not really that enthusiastic. For the listeners that don't know what monovision is.
Yeah, what is monovision, Ed?
Well, one eye is consistent, the other eye is for reading. So you're able to eliminate the glasses by having kind of like a disconnect between the eyes. And that's what happens. There is a disconnect. It's almost like having, you know, one shoe for running and the other shoe for walking.
And that you wear at the same time. Well, that even sounds confusing when put that way. That's a terrible situation to be in.
Well, some people adjust to it. This is motivation not to wear glasses. But I just think it causes an imbalance in the body. And of course, you have a loss of depth perception, and you can have a loss of coordination problems. So I'm not really that enthusiastic about monovision. And most behavioral optometrists, doctors that are involved in vision functioning and those issues will agree with me. They don't like monovision.
So, man, what's your? Have you been happy with the last 15 years of your progress? Or you've seen yourself go downhill?
I've seen. Well, the eye health has been maintained, but this has just developed within the last year and a half, and I don't know if wearing glasses is going to be, will help, because this is something that my body has done, and I don't know if there's something that can be done in case cataract would, can cataract be prevented? Or if it's starting, can something be done?
A lot of questions here. You know what?
I think the feature that Jacob happened, and I misunderstood the question. You have monovision has developed.
Yes, my monovision is natural.
And sometimes, when you get over the age of 50 or 60, you may develop a cataract in one eye.
Mm-hmm.
It's your focus. So one eye can become your sight. It's often called second sight. People need reading glasses for many, many years, and all of a sudden they don't need reading glasses anymore because they're developing a cataract. And sometimes in the early stages of the cataract, you have a change in the refractive index of the eye, which makes you become more nearsighted. So one eye now, all of a sudden, read, and you don't need your reading glasses. So that could be a cause of monovision. And yes, we have alternative therapies that can help slow the progression of cataract, and some things actually improve the vision.
You seem like you could do with another look, ma'am, if you don't mind me.
It's interesting, yes.
Yeah. Why don't you come on out and see us on the 13th, at least to get that general eye seminar out of the way. Meet Dr. Ed. Love to meet you myself. And maybe consider getting a completely different look at some alternative approaches that, well, the doctors around here just wouldn't employ. They're just unfamiliar with them. And you get a condition lasting long enough that you could tell really quickly if things were improving for you, couldn't you?
Yes, I could.
All right. Take us up on our offer, ma'am. How do you think?
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Bye.
Oh, Ed, she'll be there. She's very much interested in what you have to say. And I guess someone who's in a condition developing over these 15, 20 years can see that things going a far stream now. She said in the last year and a half, she noticed that there's this like offshoot to monovision that is now firmly established. She said her monovision is occurring naturally. Is that what she said, Ed?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say naturally. It's some physiological change, some pathological change. So we like that now that her eyes are healthy, her class, monovision. Because I do think that the eyes are capable of having good acuity of both distance and near as we age. If you maintain healthy visual habits, you're maintaining the health of your body.
Well, he's coming to town again, folks, and Ed, I'm going to give you a chance to give us his dates and times once again before the hour goes by us. By the way, we've already decided, folks, as we usually do when Ed comes to town, we're going to bring him back on the show on Friday, the day he actually departs from Phoenix to work his way east to Pittsburgh. But he causes such a hubbub whenever he's coming that we feel that we really do have to support him. And we're going to say on Friday, we're going to repeat a show. It's going to be a new show. It won't be a repeat show, but we're going to bring Ed back just before he leaves. So if you round up some folks out there, you can say you might want to listen on Friday and maybe ask Dr. Ed a final question before he departs. Ed, when are you coming to town once again? Where is this thing going to be held? How, by the way, if somebody already knows that they think they might like to be evaluated by you, how could they go about sort of reserving a spot on your very limited, you got 6 already, you only take 10.
Well, seminar is held Sunday, June 13th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Pittsburgh Airport Marriott in Coryopoulos. And we prefer that you would call up for a reservation for the seminar, mainly so we can get the adequate number of chairs.
Oh, give us a number.
You can call 1-800-430-9328. That's 1-800-430-9328.
That's if you're going to come to the general seminar just to have an idea how many chairs to set up, right?
Yeah, so we're not caught short-changed with chairs. Also, I do have a monthly newsletter, email newsletter that goes out every month, and it's also free. So folks who are interested in keeping up to date with eye problems, seminars, etc., you can go to our website, which is healing.htlight, all one word, and there's a place you can sign up for our newsletter. Those of you that might be interested in some additional information on the 3-day treatment program, you could call that same toll-free number and send you information, or you could talk to one of the girls in the office for some additional information on that. But we do come back periodically. We're planning to come back the first week in December to give another seminar and 3-day treatment program.
And that'll be right in line with your 6-month face-to-face visits, which is what you plan for with every single patient you work with.
We like to track a patient, see how they're doing, and if they're not doing as well as expected, then we make some changes in the program.
And you should also probably mention, I'd be happy to have you say it, that we'll be happy to be involved with their care in this interim period, that they won't be out here floating without a doctor nearby. It's just that their eye doctor may be going back to Phoenix, but nonetheless there are plenty of treatments and other medical issues can be addressed while they're still here back in the East. Correct, Ed?
Right. As soon as it's really deficient, we recommend they get a Mars cocktail once a month for 3 months, and a Mars cocktail is a highly proteized vitamin formula, vitamin C, trace minerals, because many of them are deficient in zinc. It's linked to a lot of eye disease, so critical to different levels.
All right. We're being bongoed in the background, and of course that means it's our time out of here. Ed, you got the wick lit. People are getting interested. We'll hear more from them during the week, I'm sure. Also on Friday, Ed's coming back just before he jumps on the plane to come back east. We'll bring him aboard on our 8 o'clock show on Friday. So until then, Ed, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney with Dr. Ed Kondrot saying so long for AM Impact on Your Health.
Thanks so much.
All right, Ed.
AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, MD, Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, MD.
KHB and the Westmoreland County Area Agency on Aging wants you to know PennDOT offers 511, a public service where travelers can get information like traffic conditions, highway construction updates, road conditions, weather conditions and alerts, and much more.